Alrighty, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So the first is going to be the minutes. If we have a motion for June 19, 2018.
Second.
Commissioner Claypool? Commissioner Lyon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye. And financials with Adrian.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Today's financials include an appropriations transfer from the Commissioner's Office to increase available appropriations in the contract services account for additional encumbrances. An appropriations transfer from the Commissioners to the Sheriff's Office for miscellaneous payments deposited into the general fund. And a supplemental appropriations from the Sheriff's Office for their commissary fund, materials and supplies and equipment accounts to replace needed kitchen equipment and increased utilization of items due to a larger inmate population. Cash transfers include a cash transfer from the general fund to the Sheriff's 800 Communications Fund for their first half 2018 support, and cash transfer from the general fund to Metzenbaum for the second quarter proceeds of the gas wells located on their property that were deposited into the general fund. Encumbrances include a travel encumbrance from maintenance to attend the CCAO Energy meeting in Columbus, and among the vouchers are $15,280 from the Board of Developmental Disabilities to Johnson Controls for their access control and camera upgrades, and $100,034.50 from Water Resources to the Commissioner's Office for their second and third quarter cost allocation.
So explain to me the 800, it's $161 to the sheriff.
That is, this is for their miscellaneous payments? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's the 161.
Yeah, that's the 800 megahertz fund, that's
Oh,
for the
I'm sorry.
radios. So that's part of the, I mean, when that was all upgraded,
The cash
there was, the sales tax was increased back in '04. That was part of the commitment, that some of that money would be to fund public safety.
What are we buying?
This is just-
Is this support or what is
This is actually for, probably a lot of it is paying for people to maintain that system.
It's actually expensive to support that system.
Well, I mean, there's equipment and upgrades and different things that are included in there in addition to salaries and stuff like that. So the value, the cash equity in their account right now is down below 70,000, so they requested their first half.
What do we usually budget? Do you remember what we budget? to
It's
transfer
basically
down?
twice this 161
Yeah,
currently in the
yeah,
budget.
that's an annual.
This is the first half.
I don't know, we'll probably explore that with the sheriff. Well, I'd like to know what's in that.
Well, I think part of the budget meetings this year is to really drill down and look at these things. We've, like Ralph always says, we're doing it the same way we've always been doing it.
I think we have
So
to
it's
take
a
a look at
question,
it. I mean,
yeah.
that stuff is, sometimes seems pretty expensive.
Yep.
So, all right, thanks.
Well, I know that they had some issues too with the tower as well due to some of the storms that we've had.
There was, yeah. there
So
was
they
a
may have
repair.
been utilizing some of the funds in there for repairs on that as well. Whatever wasn't covered by the insurance.
So, second?
Commissioner Claypool? Commissioner Lyon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
Thank you, Adrian.
David's not here.
Dave's not here. This is simple. We're approving acknowledgement of a check for number 1812 in amount of $28,7250 from Hawthorne Aurora Properties for an additional 10% deposit under the Section B of agreement signed August 1st, 17 for the purchase of 371 stream credits. So,
Second?
Commissioner Claypool?
Yep.
Commissioner Lyon?
Yes.
and then for aging,
On July 3rd, you had placed him on paid administrative leave, and so that you're just removing him from that paid administrative leave, and then there's a time period in between that he can utilize sick vacation time that will be remaining before he would have to go on.
okay. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second?
Commissioner Claypool? Commissioner Lyon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye. And then Sarah?
Thank you for coming in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good morning.
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 She's not here.
Yeah, we wanted to see what we could do to help assist you in this
Okay.
good program you're running
Awesome.
here.
Well, Craig is supposed to be here, but he was
That's okay.
stuck in a
We can do it
meeting,
without
so-
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I brought
Okay.
some handouts. I
You're
don't
much
know.
nicer than he is.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sorry.
He said you're much nicer than he is.
There's one for each of you.
So, if you just wanted to tell us a little bit about,
Sure.
the program and how it began and.
Sure. So, I'm the community support coordinator at Job and Family Services. And I coordinate a lot of programs throughout the year to help low-income children and families. This one, Help Me Learn Day, is probably my favorite. It is a school supply distribution program for low-income children and our agency foster kids. This will be the 12th year that we've been doing this program. It started basically with my predecessor, just collecting a few school supplies and a few backpacks and handing them out. And then when I took over for her, I wanted to make it more of an event. I wanted kids to have that feeling of being able to shop for school supplies like my own kids did. And so that's sort of how it evolved into this. On the second page, there's just some stats for the last 3 years. Last year, the program served approximately 518 kids. We get monetary donations, so there are businesses, churches, civic groups, individuals who will either make a monetary donation to the program or they'll donate actual school supplies. And we collect those starting in about June or whenever they start to go on sale at the stores. And then we have 2 distribution days in August. So those figures just show over the last 3 years the number or the dollar amount in monetary donations. And then it's kind of hard to calculate the value of the supplies that get donated because we don't go through and add up every box of crayons. But I would easily say that those figures are very conservative in the actual amount of supplies that we get donated. And then the value received would be just, what the kids walk away with in terms of, the things that they need to be ready for school. Last year, we partnered with Morning Star Friends Church, La Barberia Institute for Hair in Mayfield Heights, and Marcy's Hair on the Square. And we did a gently used clothing giveaway and free haircuts for
That's
kids.
great.
And that took place at the church because we didn't have room in our parking lot to have that as well as the school supply distribution. So,
That's great.
and we're going to be doing that again this year. We always do 2 distribution days, one at Job and Family Services, which is on the 10th, and then a second one at Chagrin Falls Park Community Center. That is just basically because of logistics. It's hard for folks in that part of the county to get transportation, often to get up to Job and Family Services. So we just figured it was easier
Okay.
to load up the school supplies and take them down there.
Okay.
so
And when's that day?
That's August 14th.
14th. Okay.
Sorry, thought I would be.
Families must demonstrate a need to qualify, so they all have to be pre-registered. And they contact the agency and they put them through to me and I get them registered. I think the important thing to point out is this program and the kids that it serves is supported 100% through donations. And so I think we're meeting a lot of need, not at the taxpayer's expense.
Yeah.
And
So,
then.
so what are you doing in the morning,
What?
tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning? working.
She better be.
The reason that I say that is I'm a member of the Chesterland Rotary,
Okay.
and we have a bookmobile. And
Okay.
they tend to give away books
Mhm.
and other things. And so I was going to invite you to come to that meeting in the morning and so you could talk about this in the
Sure.
morning with the Rotary if you want to, because there's a bunch of very generous people in the Rotary, and they give their time and they give their money and so on and so forth.
I have come to the meetings in the past, but I would be more than happy to
If you're
come.
going to go to 7 o'clock at Danny Boy's in Chesterland.
Okay.
And so I just sent a text message off to we got a new president, to see if that would flummox the works, but give me
Okay.
your contact information before you leave, and then
I will.
We'll
Sure, absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. I just wanted to draw some more attention to this, and I know you've been doing a great job of getting the word out, but if there's anything else we can do, the Commissioner's office, but I think, just from within, I'd like to maybe propose something within our office at least, and then anyone else that wants to participate, some type of drive where we can, the employees can bring any type of supplies or donations they want, but I'd like to personally make a donation to it for $1,000. I'd like to do $1,000, and then
Thank you.
and then also if there's some way we can help get the word out, promote it anymore.
Yeah, it was actually in the News Herald, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, it's I
Sorry.
attached that in your little
Okay.
package.
Yeah, it was in the News Herald yesterday and on
Yep.
newsherald.com and then on
Chagrin
Chagrin
Valley
Valley Times.
Yeah.
Was it last week?
I think it was last week or whenever the most recent edition came out.
That's great. It's huge for your, a lot of this stuff, a lot of kids, my kids probably, take it for granted, having new shoes, new books, new clothes, This is it's a confidence type thing, even a haircut for a kid, I think, going into his first day at school, and,
Yep.
that's a big deal, so, I think this is what really matters the most out of all these different programs, these type of things, they strike home and it's important, and, we just want to do whatever we can to help promote this and
Yeah.
support this and grow it.
One additional thing that we just added, and we were only able to add it for the second day at Chagrin Falls Park, but maybe this is a good way to start, because we're actually having a dental truck
Oh, that's a
come.
good
It's a
idea.
47-foot truck. I think it's through UH, right?
Mhm, yes.
Yeah, and they're coming and donating the truck, and they're going to have 3 dentists and hygienists
Wow.
there at Chagrin Falls Park on the 14th. Is it right?
The 14th.
And they're coming just because one of the things that I've learned over the years, just being in the field of child abuse, neglect, and dependency, is actually dental care is so important for your overall health.
Mhm.
And a lot of these kids, because some insurances don't cover dental care,
Most
don't
don't,
actually
yeah.
get that kind of care. So
Mhm.
they're going to be able to go there and get checkups and stuff, and then actually they will even develop, if they're interested in continuing that, develop a dental plan for the kids. So starting
Mhm.
off the school year on a good foot, not just with that, but also with their health,
No, it's good.
hygiene, stuff like that. So we just partnered with them. They weren't able to do the 10th, but maybe
Right.
this will be a good way to sort of start that out, and then they want to donate that going forward.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's neat.
Yeah.
I think that.
I want to see one of these things. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And drive to my house and get my
Right.
The other thing to mention is over the years, kids from every community and every school district in the county have participated in this program. So from, Thompson down to Chagrin Falls
Right.
and from Chardon down to Parkman. There isn't one community or one school district that hasn't been represented or hasn't benefited from it. And, quite honestly, to see the kids come in and go around and be able to feel like they're shopping instead of
Mhm.
just being given something.
Mhm.
And then to be able to walk away with, that stuff to really prepare them, for a successful school year
Absolutely.
is
I mean, I
pretty
remember
important.
getting fired up, it didn't always pan out, but like all my new books, and I was like, I'm ready this year, you know. A week into it, and I was like,
How'd you do it?
I'm gonna try this year.
I was looking at when I was going
Tell them
up.
where the weekend.
But you got a real nice new pen,
Right, right, right.
When I was growing up, the mark of real status was when you got the Crayola with the 64 crayons and the sharpener.
With the sharpener
Yes.
and the
Yeah, that was
pencil.
wow.
Yeah,
That's, yeah.
that's right.
Got it.
No, it's great.
Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent.
Well, and the school supply list continued to grow, because schools have tightening budgets. You know, a lot of the things that used to be provided, you know, by the teachers or the school in the classroom
Sure.
when maybe we were all in school, you know, slowly that's getting passed on to families. And so
Right.
the list just continued to grow. So when I with the monetary donations, you know, I spent the month of July shopping for
Mhm.
school supplies, and I was in one store last year and probably had 6 carts filled, and
Wow.
the person behind me in line
like,
said, how many kids do
Yeah.
you have?
Yeah.
800 and
You know, with your, you know, some of your purchasing power and background, you know, do you think there's a way to, you know, buy in bulk, like, you know, or
I
approach
was thinking
approach
about that
these
as
type
we were
of
thinking, talking here.
you know, like approach. I
Right.
mean, obviously, maybe not Crayola or somebody, but you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
where you could go out and really get the bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I was thinking about that when this thing started.
Yeah, or even like I don't know where you go shopping, right? Where you
All
go like
over.
all over, yeah, like Target or something, or you know.
Yeah, I've gone to Target, I've gone
Yeah.
to Staples, I've gone
Yeah.
to Mark's, I've gone to Walmart. You know, I just try to shop where things are on sale or where you can
Or
get
maybe
the
they'll,
best price.
you know, if we let them
Cut the
know
middleman
what
out.
we're trying to do, if they'd be willing to
What's
participate.
the greatest need?
Yeah.
What's the most
Um,
interest, the thing that really?
Well, you know, the most expensive thing obviously are backpacks, and then a lot of the electronic stuff, like the Texas Instrument calculators that
TI-84s.
Yeah,
yeah.
the kids in high school need. You know, they use the earbuds or headphones now because of the computers and whatnot. So some of those things, you know, are a little more challenging. And you know, do we meet every need on every school supply list? No. I mean, that would be probably impossible
Right,
to
right.
do. But we certainly try to focus on, you know, the basics
Yep.
and.
Good jump off, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then fill in where we can.
It might be interesting for people to see what it is that's on your shopping list, and because then people could, you know, come up with, you know.
Well, you get all
I
the
do,
lists.
I
from
have all
schools,
the
right?
school supply lists. I get them off, you know, the individual schools' websites
Can
and
you
then
send that to us or forward that to us?
the school supply list.
Yeah, what you're going to be shopping for, what you're going to
Sure.
be providing, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and
Because
from that,
individuals-
I've compiled sort of a, what I need most list, that, you know, when individuals or businesses or whoever contact me wanting to collect school supplies, I can send them that list of things that,
You know, oftentimes, I know in my church, we do programs with various schools, and people respond well when they see something visually and say, okay, give us these things.
Because they're like, I can do that.
Yeah, and they can, they
Sure.
see that they can do that. You know, it looks too big to accomplish when you got 1,000 kids coming through or whatever.
Right.
But I can buy 5 boxes of crayons. I can buy 5 backpacks.
Sure.
Or whatever the case is, and donate those.
sure.
And so not everybody's not, you know, as well-to-do as Tim here. But everybody can
Yes.
do something, you know. and
Sure,
so it's
absolutely, absolutely. I will absolutely send up that list and invite you to come on the 10th if you're free.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If you come at 9 o'clock or 1 o'clock, there's gonna be a long line and you might have
That's great.
difficulty finding a parking spot
Really?
with our
Yeah.
agency, but
Yeah.
it's well worth it.
But you can find one of those potholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, find one of those, what?
Do you think there's a different place to do
I could
it
donate
besides
some coal
JFS?
packs.
Maybe something a little more, like, I don't know.
You know,
I mean,
I think-
not to change it this year, obviously, but.
I think JFS is centrally located. Everyone knows where we are. Oftentimes, you know, people incorporate that with other things that they need to do at the agency.
Okay.
And it really
We've made
hasn't
it
been a
work.
problem
Okay.
so far. And the church, if we continue to partner, which I'm sure we will, is just right down the road.
They have a nice sized
Yeah.
parking lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And we
Okay.
try to rotate, like get people going one place or the other.
Right.
I see, okay.
Um,
Well, that's really nice of, Marcy's and the, what's it,
La Barberia.
Barberia.
It's a
Institute of
barber's school.
School, okay.
Nice.
That's really nice of them to partner with us on this.
Where's Square Up Barber Shop at?
It's on the square in Chardon. I just had heard from, Marcy, from Marcy's here in the square, that is a barber shop that's either opened or is opening up, and that they wanted to volunteer
Oh,
their
that's
time.
nice.
Does the
as well.
Yankee Clipper guy do?
To be honest, I'm not, like, they are in charge of getting other
Okay.
barbers and stylists, so they
So they'll
they
take care of
recruit
that.
them.
Super.
Yeah, come down
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
check
Thank
it
you
out.
so much for
and-
coming in. I just
Sure.
wanted to,
I appreciate that.
draw some more attention to this
Yeah.
and, and continue to do whatever we can to help support it,
Sarah, do me a favor and give me here.
Sure.
Here.
Where's the donation, where do you write, I don't see, do you make a check out or what?
It's to Special Services of Geauga County.
Okay. Is it a 501c?
Yes.
Just
Tax
established that
deductible?
2
Mhm.
years ago.
Great. Say that name one more time.
Special
Services.
of Geauga County.
Geauga, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of describe as what Sarah does is, at the agency, we have so many different funding streams and so many different programs, but just as with any government, there are certain sectors or areas of that it doesn't cover, and Sarah really does a great job of making sure that people don't fall through those cracks.
Yeah.
The flexibility where most of the funding streams that we have eligibility requirements and certain things that you need to
Restrictions,
meet.
yeah.
When you have donated money in a 501c3, she is the one, the gatekeeper, and the one, and she's the one who determines that need. We've been able to do some really unique, amazing things that
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to find a funding stream to meet, and
That's right.
that's just through her
Well, it's like,
recruitment.
government, it can't solve all the world's
It can't.
problems, but, stuff like this, people will, and other things too, it doesn't have to just be related to children or school or whatever. I mean, you give people an opportunity to help, they will, it's like you just gotta put it out there,
And Sarah just doesn't just
Yeah.
serve children; she serves seniors. She really has done a lot, and most of the people that leave her presence are leaving crying, but mostly out of joy because they've been able to do something that they haven't been able to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really like that this is all private donations.
Yeah.
It's not government doing something.
Yeah,
It's-
right.
It's people doing something.
Right.
I really like that. Cool, thank you.
Sure.
You're welcome.
Great.
Thank you so much for
Yep,
having us.
we'll talk soon.
Take that snack with
Yeah,
you.
thanks so
No,
much,
stay with
yeah.
Maybe open the little box.
Thank you very much.
Might have
Thirsty for brain.
a couple used crayons in there.
I'm gonna go play with these.
I just
now.
signed for
We're gonna go chalk in the parking lot now.
That's not chalk. Craig, that's not chalk. That's a crayon sharpener.
Yeah,
I tried.
My Little Pony. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
All right, so BDP's on Tuesday.
Today.
Today,
2 o'clock.
Geauga County Township meeting. Then we've got External Affairs, 8:30. Family First on Monday, and we'll be back for the meeting next week again at 9. Other than that, motion to adjourn.
Real quick, did you make any headway with Bowen on the contract?
Jerry did a lot of the work, and you can kind of give them the update.
We've got the contract that's been approved by Bowen's council, it's been approved by the prosecutor's office. We're just trying to get them to sign it and get their
Gotcha.
certificates of insurance, so that.
So you think maybe next week we'll have it
Yeah, we should-
already?
Yeah, we should be.
Yeah.
We had, and then we had to have the funding in place to be able to certify that we have the money set aside to do it if you
I
guys
see.
decide to go forward.
Okay.
I
So
see.
that was on
Makes
today, I
sense.
think,
Yeah, that was
Yep.
today's.
yeah.
Yep.
Great. Okay. And then, association dinner? When's that? Wednesday? County? Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
Yeah. St. Dennis?
Mhm. You and Jerry are going.
Okay. Hey, good meal, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Move to adjourn.
Alrighty.
So moved.
Thank you.
All right. My boy Steve.
Anything extra?